Radio Raheem here with Michael Buffer. The voice of boxing has rung out again. It's weigh-in day for Ward-Kovalev. You know, I've anticipated this fight for a long time. In fact, as soon as the first fight was over, I knew this day was coming. I don't think it'll disappoint. Now that we've seen these guys in their training camps, we've seen them on the scales, are they going to deliver tomorrow night?
I think it's going to be a better fight. You know, you just said you don't think it's going to disappoint. I kind of was disappointed in the first fight. You know, the last 6 rounds, and Andre, you know, without a doubt, was in control in the last 6 rounds. Whether he won all 6 or not is debatable, but, you know, he definitely won a majority of them. I think both guys are going for a knockout. Andre, I mean, you know, it's just he's fired up. He's edgy. Usually he's, you know, in total control. The Iceman, really cool. I've had 2 people tell me they were like backstage after the weigh-in, and he was cranky, and you know.
Andre was,
yeah. And Kovalev, after yesterday, who just, you know, walked out, and when he was all cranky, I guess after he weighed in and drank a nice quart of water, he feels pretty good, because on the stage, you know, he was laughing and smiling and joking with his HBO interview. So I don't think this fight, like you say, is going to disappoint. I think this is really going to be an ass-kicking war.
When they were face-to-face, though, in the face-off, none of that jovial nature or lightheartedness was there. So as many fighters as we've seen, as many guys get ready for big events, that mental part is a huge part of the fight. Do you think Kovalev, he's certainly angry, and when he sees Ward across the ring, finally with the gloves on, I don't think that anger is going to dissipate. Is that going to help him or hurt him?
I think he has to stay angry. I think even as he wasn't, you know, first 6 rounds he was strong. Last 6 rounds he wasn't doing a lot, and it wasn't like enough to like throw the fight away. But I think anger would have helped at that point, and I think he has that. I think he's got 12 rounds of anger in him right now, and that's what he needs. He needs to like really want. He needs to want to kick his ass every round. And Andre, I think, already does have that in him, that he really does, as opposed to last time. You know, Andre is a chess player. He's like Lennox, you know. I mean, until Lennox got into his middle 30s and then started like being a slugger. He was a chess player and you know, a master boxer, and clever with all this inside and all these things that, you know, just dominate a fight, good defensive fighter. But I think this fight, he feels like he wants to just go out there and knock somebody out.
One of the best chess players we've ever seen in the ring has made news here in these last 48 hours. He apparently wants to get in the ring with one of the best, like, Connect 4 players I've ever seen. He wants to fight Conor McGregor. I guess I can call it a fight.
I thought McGregor was going to sign to play Steph one-on-one in basketball.
No, not until the NBA championship's on the line. They're only going to bring in McGregor when, like, you know, it's Game 7 of the finals, maybe next year. In that spirit, though, as ridiculous as that is, a lot of people think this is as ridiculous a premise. A guy who's never stepped in a boxing ring before to box, fighting the guy who is considered the best fighter alive. When you heard this fight was finally announced, you all heard it, the talk, but when you finally heard, like, okay, this is going to happen, what was your initial feeling, your gut reaction?
Yeah, for months I said, no way, it's not going to happen. And then I started, you know, little things started, and then finally it did happen. The only thing that surprised me after what I've heard, and you've been in the same room and heard the same things over the last 4 weeks, knowing it was like building up to it and it was going to, you know, get made, I'm surprised it's happening with only 9 weeks notice. Right?
Right.
I think Floyd might have been training for the last 2 months, you know, because he never goes in without conditioning. And have they signed a fight at 147?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Or is it like a lot of Floyd's contracts where the weight will be determined on the day of the fight?
I don't even know the details, quite honestly.
It's kind of crazy. But look, you know, he's a master boxer. And a brilliant defensive fighter. And if anybody wants to, like, put a little money out there and make a bet, a legal bet, of course, before you do that, go to YouTube and look up these sparring sessions with Conor, and it might make you decide to bet one way or the other when you see that.
There's no question as to who wins this fight. I'm not even going to ask anybody that. My question is, does Conor McGregor land a punch?
That's the only thing. Does he land a punch? And just look at those sparring videos, and you just see like a mid-level, average welterweight guy just doing anything he wanted to do in those sparring sessions, with another guy coming in and flailing away. But you can't take anything away from Conor McGregor's heart when it comes to and conditioning. I mean, physically, he's a real physical specimen, and he does punch hard. But there's a big difference between a 10-ounce boxing glove and a 4-ounce gardening glove. So,
Radio
glove or whatever it is.
Radio Raheem with Michael Buffer, always giving me the major line at the end. Listen, I can't call this a boxing match, but it's going to be a huge event, and they can't do without you. So I'm assuming I will see you here on August 26th at the event.
You won't. No. Come on, let's be realistic. The fight is a Showtime pay-per-view show. Hall of Fame announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr., that's his territory, and he will be there. I mean, maybe.
That's
what's going to happen.
All right.
I'm already booked on that day. I've got other work. I've already booked.
All right. Well, okay. All right. Are you going to be in LA that day?
I'll see the replay.
Are you not booked for Cotto? Are you?
Yeah.
You're doing Cotto. You're going to be free on that day. There's no way they keep that date. There's no way. Radio Raheem either be sitting ringside with Michael Buffer for this event on August 22nd, or I'll be sitting ringside without Michael Buffer because he'll be in the ring somehow, some way. They'll figure out how to get the real voice of boxing in that ring for this huge event.
Maybe
on August 26th. Oh my God. That's right.
Wouldn't that be cool?
The two of you. See, we're working out all the details right here. Radio Raheem with Michael Buffer. Always a pleasure.